Hey everybody, welcome to another Paint the Edge Up. We're teaching to make a cool painting in about an hour, and I get a little drunk doing it. My name is Joel, and today we are painting this painting right here. I call it Blue Mountains because I'm not creative, okay? It's pretty nice. Just kind of Bob Ross inspired, but that's what we're doing today. I'm going to tell you step by step how to make it and what you're going to need for this. If you haven't already, please like, share, follow, subscribe. And like always with all my classes, I'm going to give away a free giveaway painting. All you got to do is correctly answer my subjective trivia question first in the comments, and I will send you a free painting of your choice. I really need to get rid of these paintings. I'll send you a few paintings. Just anybody wants a painting, I will send you many paintings if you want. Okay, what are you going to need for this? You'll need a 16 by 20 canvas, all right? You can use different sizes, obviously, okay? Free country, all right? But I'm using 16 by 20 canvas. That's what I use for most of my paintings. And I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Okay. Canvas. You also need other things I've got paper towels. I've got a water cup. You need some kind of water cup to wash your brushes out and to mix in with your acrylic paint. I've also got a blow dryer and whiskey. I've got paper plates. This is what I use for my palette. Feel free to use something different if you want. That's what I like because it's cheap and easy. I've got tools here. Tool time. I've got a few brushes. I've got my big flat brush. I've got my medium flat brush. I got a medium round brush and a little tiny round brush. Okay, so those are my 4 brushes. All right, take those, put them bristle down in your water cup, and leave them there anytime you're not using them. I've also got a pencil and a kneaded eraser so I can erase. And I've also got 2 pieces of chalk, okay? I've got my blue and my orange chalk. It's just a little variation in case one color of chalk works better, but that's just regular sidewalk chalk. You can draw on your painting with it, and it comes right off. I've also got black paint, white paint, violet, also known as purple, blue, phthalo blue, light yellow. I got a bright red. They've got a burnt umber and a raw sienna. Okay, raw sienna, yellow ochre works good for that, but just a brown color and then a tan color. Okay. All right. That being said, cheers. Hey, I was off last week. I was gone for a week, and I'm back, so it feels good to be back. Cheers. Back to it. Hey, paint the edge off. Okay. Let's get the shot counter going. Shots. Okay. First thing I want to do here is I want to draw a couple things in. Okay. What I want to do first is kind of find this horizon line. I always like to find that first. Little below halfway. Okay, so if we go in the middle, drop down a little bit. Somewhere in there. Let's make a little line here. That's going to be our horizon line, okay? Is that more? That's more flat. Okay. Horizon line, okay? Now that's about a little bit more than halfway down, okay? Okay, up here, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of divide this up. I'm going to give myself this little bit of space up here is going to be kind of where the tops of my trees are. All right, and then in here I want to give myself, I would about cut it in half. Maybe a little higher than halfway up of this section. Draw a little line here. This is going to be kind of where your mountains are. I'm drawing that one lightly, okay? All right, down here at the bottom, let's draw another line across. Let's take this section, cut it about in half, okay? Okay, we did it. We drew some lines. Congratulations. How about shot? Happy Wednesday, everybody. Good to be back. How's everybody been? How you doing? Cheers. Okay. Now I've got my kneaded eraser. I can erase that if I want. And I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to do it this way. It's been a long time since I painted this one, so I'm going to be definitely kind of figuring this out as I go. Just a little. Okay, let's take a fresh plate here. Let's get some white paint. Okay, let's get purple and let's get red. Purple and some red. Oh yeah, there we go. That's the stuff. Okay. You know, I think with this one, what I want to do, really, is, if I really want to do it, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my big brush out of my water cup. Okay, take that out. Tap it off a little bit. Alright, tap it off so you feel fancy. Oh, you don't really need to tap it off. The water's pretty good, actually, for it. But let's go ahead and start with our... Let's start with our pink here, okay? So let's take white. So first I'm starting by kind of stirring my water in with my paint, okay? That's kind of always the first thing. Before you start mixing it up, kind of stir your water in a little bit. Bring some of that red in here. And we're probably going to use... This needs to be really light pink, so... I feel like I'm going to end up using, like, all of this white. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. So very, very light pink here. You can see that it's super light. It's like a flesh color. Well, more like a pig color. It reminds me of like cartoon pigs, how pink they were. Okay, so let's take that and let's start painting. Let's take that and let's just start going. I'm gonna go a little below this line actually, and just kind of start. I'm gonna do this whole, just kind of make these little X motions, just lightly brushing this in. Okay, whatever brush stroke style you like, go for it. Okay. This, at the end of the day, is your painting, okay? Not mine. I mean, this is my painting, but... I mean, is it really my painting? I don't even know. Maybe I probably saw something else that influenced me, and... What even is yours, you know? Okay, let's not get too philosophical. Okay, I mixed up way more pink than I needed, so... Let's go ahead and I'm gonna scrape some of that off, actually. Wash it. You know what I should have done, though, is I should have taken a paper towel and probably scraped it that way. Let's see, how's everybody doing? What's going on? I just got back from vacation. I go on a vacation like once every like 2 years, and my family went down to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and it was a fun time. Good time. But yeah, I was off last week. I feel good being back. Really feel like I learned a lot about myself on this trip. Okay, let's take some white and some purple. But anyway, I don't know. What have you guys been up to the last couple weeks? Alright, there we go. Purple and white. Again, pretty light purple, but not quite as light as the pink. Needs to be a little darker, something like that, okay? And I'm going to start up here in the top. Yeah, I can go a little darker, actually. Go a little bit more purple mixed in there. And I'm just going to kind of bring this purple down, mix it in with the pink, okay? Yeah, but it was fun. I got to hang out with like my whole family, go down to the beach. I'm not the biggest beach person necessarily, but you know, it was a lot of fun. It was pretty calming. I did get out in the waves. It was kind of like raining every day, which made the waves like pretty crazy. It was pretty fun. So I got out there in the waves, got in the inner tube, and kind of rode some waves. It was dope. So now I'm taking this purple down to the pink, and I'm just kind of lightly blending that, okay? Now, if maybe I feel like I want the pink to go up a little bit, I can go back and I don't need to wash my brush out. I can just take some pink right here, scoop her up, and go into it, okay? Just go into it, okay? Just get into it, all right? Get into it like a new TV show you're into, okay? Just get into it. Just really make yourself really try, okay? Give it a few episodes, okay? Give it a few brush strokes, and get into it, all right? Oh, there we go. Oh. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and paint my side edges as I go, just while I got this color on my brush. Might as well. I'm going to leave the top, because I know I'm going to put green later. I'll paint the top green. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and paint these side edges. Okay, so we got our sky. Hey, that's quite an accomplishment. I think we deserve a shot. So I'm going to do that. Oh, you know what? I didn't count my second shot, did I? I'm rusty. I'm rusty. Been off for a week. I'm rusty. Let's go ahead and pop that up, because I know I took a second shot. Okay, shot number 3 coming up. Okay, so, well, let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and do the trivia question now, just so you got time to think about it, okay? Today's trivia question is, which of the first 6 letters of the alphabet is best? Is it A, D, B, F, C, B, D, what is happening, E, F, A, G, C, or H? I've run out of trivia questions, okay? So that's your trivia question today. Give it a guess. I'm going to take a shot. Cheers. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. What are we doing next? Next should... let's do the water next. Okay, so the water we start with just white paint. So I want to really make sure we wash our brush out, okay? We'll put the water in. You know what? No, we won't put the water in. Let's blow dry. Let's blow dry. I'll leave my trivia question up. Wonder what the last picture I had on here was. Oh yeah, National Grab Some Nuts Day. So today's National, it's a couple things. It's like several things. National Black Cat Celebration Day. It's also National I Love My Feet Day. Not kidding. I don't know. Here's a feeling. It wasn't very interesting today. Wasn't too interesting. But yeah, I went down to the beach with my family for a week, and feel like I learned a lot, you know. One thing I did, you know, me and my girlfriend drove down there by ourselves, and we had a good 11.5-hour drive, basically, and so we had time to listen to stuff and talk, but lately I've been going back into that Briggs-Myers personality test, and essentially, I'm ENTJ. My girlfriend is ISFP. We're exact opposites. Exact opposites. Like, could not be more opposite, basically. But basically, ENTJ, what I read about it, just basically like, you're a cold, rigid, heartless, feelingless asshole who's only concerned with efficiency and, you know, and it's like pretty accurate, you know, like, I'm like, wow, I'm surprised how accurate that was. But it was pretty good. You know, we learned about ourselves, and, you know, there's all these things that talk about your personality type. But what I kept telling my girlfriend is I said, look, at the end of the day, I'm not an ENTJ. I'm a JOEL, okay? And you're not an ISFP. You're a LACY, okay? She didn't like that joke, but I thought it was funny, so... It's also true, though. I mean, all those things are kind of broad stereotypes. Or, I mean, you know, it's kind of like a basic thing, but everyone's got a little, you know... Everyone's different. Everyone's a little different. Okay, let's draw where our mountains are going to be. I'll shut up. Okay. So, here's now the peaks of my mountain. I'm going to draw this, go along, draw my tops of my mountains. Now, this is going to be the lowest. I can't go below that because I don't want to see any white canvas showing through behind my mountains. Does that make sense? So I'm going to go ahead and just start... What I like to do is just kind of wiggle your hand. I wouldn't really think about it if I were you. I would just draw a line. Imagine the most erratic heartbeat you can on one of those heartbeat monitor things. No, I don't like that, though. And, you know. And there we go. Okay, now it's kind of hard to see that, but there's the top of my mountains, okay? One thing we're going to do now is we're going to draw in a little bit more. So basically, what we want to do is draw in kind of where the shadows are on our mountains, okay? So if I go up here, here's one. There's a top point on one, right? If I draw down and I go like that. Well, now my mountain's got a little depth. Now I see it's kind of a triangular shape looking thing. It's kind of like an arrow that goes up. But I'm going to go through and do that to all my mountains, all right? So I'm going to go through. Here's another one. Now, here's the problem. There's the dip. There's the top. So from that dip, you got to decide, okay, that mountain is on top. Okay, and kind of close those off. So that's what I'm going to go through and do now. So anyway, yeah, good trip though. Got to hang out with my family, which I haven't gotten to do in a long time. And yeah, pretty good time. Let's see what else. I also the season finale of Better Call Saul was last night, and it was awesome. Pretty fucking awesome. Oh wow, that's really smeared there. It'll be fine. It's all gonna be fine. Okay, it's all good, man. Okay, there's another little mountain I'm gonna draw in front. Okay, so again, do the same thing here. Hey, that gives us a little two sides of it. And, you know, let's say, I don't know, let's go here. Alright, let's go, you know, something like that. Let's go, you know, maybe we'll go here and something like that. Let's go over here. This mountain looks like it's in front, and this one's gonna be there. Let's have this one come in front of that one. I don't know. How about that? Maybe I don't know, one there. Maybe one here. Who knows, really? Okay, something like that. That's close enough. Okay, good job. Shot time. And, okay, now we're going to paint our mountains in. We're going to put the first layer. The first layer is our blues, our light blue and dark blue, so that's what we'll do first. Okay. 4 shots, gotta have it. I'm rusty. You know, you take 1 week off and it just all goes to shit. Alright, blue paint. Okay, blue paint, white paint. Am I gonna run out of white paint? Okay, big brush. You could do your big brush or your medium flat brush, or use whatever brush you want. I'm gonna go big, cause I'm fast. Let's go. I'm gonna start with my darkest color. So I'm just gonna take blue, just blue, dark blue, dark blue. You know what? I am gonna use my medium flat brush, okay? Cause I want to not make this bad. So let's take our medium flat brush. So I can get in there in my little details. Let's take dark blue, just that phthalo blue by itself. The only problem here is that it might kind of show through some of that background. So let's try this, see what it looks like. Not too bad, it's covering pretty well. So let's go ahead and fill in our shadow section. So I'm picking the right side of my mountains to be the side in shadow. You could do it the other way, it really doesn't matter. You could do it that way easily. East Coast, West Coast. I'm gonna kind of fade off there because I'm gonna come back to that bottom section. But yeah, here's another half of a mountain there. Trying to stop there, leave myself space for my light blue. Make sure you go all the way to the line. It's okay if you go a little over. You'd rather go a little over than not all the way to it, because you could just let it dry and then just paint over it. I probably shouldn't tell it, but is anybody out there? Hello? Is anybody out there? Hope everybody's doing okay. Not sure what's been going on lately. I've been spacing, and it has felt great. Man, I'm kind of a workaholic, and to not have to think about work was pretty excellent. I haven't done that in a long time, so I got to just have fun for a week, which I never get to do. But it was fun. Hung out with my family. My sister's kids are like, her oldest is like graduating high school. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, but yeah, the whole family, everybody. It was nice. Good time. I'll cover that up too. All no one. So I'm trying to kind of stay inside those lines. I'm kind of starting by just outlining there, kind of making my little edges. Right now I'm naughty. Oh, let's see what next. So let's do this little mountain I put in front. Let's go ahead and do that one. Known as Aaliyah. Bird of many moments. All at once. Always capture. Okay. So there's that little mountain in front. And, you know, it's probably fine. Let's go over here. Let's put, here's another little shadowy side. Not just anybody. So I'm kind of filling in these two little mountain peaks right here. This is just where I've drawn. I'm just kind of, at this point I'm just coloring, basically. I know. Do you have somebody? Well, a little over that. That's okay. Okay, let's just, I'm going to make up another mountain right here. There's a half of that mountain. Okay, this looks crazy right now, but it's going to make sense in a minute, okay? Let's wash our, actually, we don't really need to wash our brush out. Take your brush, mix in a little bit of white. Take a little bit of white, mix it with your blue. Not a lot of white, just enough you can tell the difference between the two colors. Alright, a little bit of white will go a long way here and change the color a lot. So take just a little bit of white, mix it with your blue, and I'm going to fill everything else into the mountains, okay? So yeah. Okay, so you can still see that there's a difference in color, but it's not super light. Okay. Maybe it should be a little lighter, though. Maybe that'll be a little bit better right there. Okay, I like to use thick paint and really let the brush stroke create your texture in your mountain. Okay, down here where I left off that dark color, because I didn't know what I was doing down there. I'm just going to make it up. I'm just going to fill that in, and whatever happens, who cares? Again, is there any life forms out there? Man, I'm gone for 1 week, and everyone just gives up on me. I was like, forget it. Forget it. He was gone for 1 week. Canceled. AKA canceled. Okay, but yeah, this is looking good. I'm liking Little Mountain. I'm liking my mountains here. Okay, so now you're kind of seeing it, you can kind of see the form a little bit. This is just that first layer, just to kind of get it set in. Go back and add all our details in later. But I do like to let those colors blend and mix. Just let the paint do what it does, and just makes it more interesting, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. How's everything going? Anything new happening I should know about? Oh, you know what? So we went on vacation and we're in these condos, and there's 2 condos for our whole family, and we're kind of split between the 2 of them and everything. But they have the cable, you know, and I haven't watched cable in, I don't know. Well, I mean, at work we have cable, but anyway, I got to just sit there and bounce around through cable while I was bored. at our condo. And there's this channel called Cozy TV. It's kind of like older sitcoms, funny shows, kind of. But every night at midnight, they had Third Rock from the Sun on. And I don't know if anyone remembers that show, but my God, I love that show. It's also kind of like, you know, nostalgic for me because I grew up watching Third Rock from the Sun. But, man, after not watching it, after not having watched it for a decade, I don't know, something like that, it really holds up. It was pretty damn good. My God, that show's just so fucking funny. Like, I was sitting there and like my girlfriend had like never seen it, so I'm like explaining all the characters. I'm like, oh well, Sally, she's like she's like the military person, but she got put in a girl's body. That's the comedy of it, right? Then Tommy's like the smartest one. He's like the intelligence officer, but he's a little kid, right? He's put in a kid's body, so no one really takes him seriously. And then you got Dick Solomon. He's the main character, and he's like leader, and he's just hilarious. John Lithgow was gotta be the best role ever. Like, and then you got Harry, who's just basically a moron. But I was explaining all of it to her, and I'm telling her who everybody is, and and I was like, so you get it? Their names are Tom, Dick, and Harry, you know? She was like, oh, yeah. The show's funny. Okay, we're almost done with the mountain part here. So after that, we'll probably do the water. Might blow dry just a tad, just to get the bottoms of the mountains dry, so I can do the water and it won't mix in. But that's gonna be the next thing. Alright. Here we go. That's a little tiny spot. You gotta use your little tiny brush for that. No shame in that, okay? Okay, good job. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take another shot. Okay, so I'm gonna blow dry. I'm just gonna blow dry for a second just to get this bottom a little dry. So I'm gonna put just white down there, so if there's any wet paint, it will mix with white and drastically change the color. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a little quick blow dry while I take a shot. And cheers. Cheers, everybody. You know, Third Rock from the Sun had a lot of like great characters, like actors on it. You know, Joseph Gordon-Levitt started there, all this stuff, and like I feel like most everybody was pretty successful after that, except for French Stewart. I don't know. I mean, he was in some things. I remember in some comedies, but he kind of just like fell off the face of the earth, or just, you know, I don't know. He got some parts for a little while after that, but then eventually it's kind of like, I don't know, for some reason, maybe he was tired of the limelight, or maybe he was impossible to work with. Who knows? But I noticed that, and I was like, yeah, where's he at? Everyone else, like, on the show, you kind of contract their career. There's like all kinds of people on that show that were, I don't know. But French Stewart, that's kind of all he's remembered for. And I thought he was hilarious on there. Of course, when I watched that show, I watched that show when I was a kid, so, like, not the most intellectual mind watching it, but I loved that show. Okay, let's see. Alright. 30 minutes and no one said anything. I'm all alone. I'm all alone in this void. This void of these paintings and boxes. I'm trapped. I'm trapped. I'm all alone in the void of this painting box. I'm trapped. Someone free me. Okay, let's take white paint. We're just going to fill this section in with white paint. Okay. Excuse me? Excuse me? Did I count my shot? I freaking didn't. Did I? I'm gonna take another one just to make sure I took 5, okay? I won't count this one. I know I took it, I didn't count it. Almost positive. If anyone was watching, they could tell me if I did or not, but no one is. Okay, white paint. Now I want to fill this in with really thick white paint because we want to blend some colors in here. Or put some colors in there. We want it to be wet to blend a little bit. Okay? Okay. Play like they used to, yeah. All the way down to that bottom line there. I would go a little over that line at the bottom, just to be safe. That went up a little high, but you know what? I'll fix it later. Let's just get these first layers in. There's always time to come back and fix it. Okay, let's put that up. Let's get our medium flat brush out here. We'll give it a good wash. And we're going to start by taking some little lines and put some pinks and purples in the water. And then we will kind of make it look like little reflections in the water, okay? Okay. Let's go ahead and start with purple. Let's take our purple color here. Just gonna try to get that same kind of purple color I had that I painted in the sky. Get it all mixed up there. Take your brush, kind of scrape. If it's kind of blobby or not super flat, take and kind of start by kind of scraping it a little bit. Maybe lay it down flat and pull it through. Press it down. You know, flip it over. Do the same thing. Do that a few times. Kind of flatten her back out. And then I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna go make some big purpley lines down here. A little bit longer, more spread out. Okay, and then as I go up, I can make them a little bit, not quite as long, and a little closer together. I can make some short ones. And then as I get up here, I'm just going to start. Okay, this is really blobby, so it's really thick. It's not staying flat. I'm going to take it and I'm going to press this. Really press up at the base of my bristles. Flatten it back out. Then I can take it, press it down, flip it over. And that's going to keep my brush a lot flatter. There we go. That's way better. Oh yeah, look how thin those lines are. Where does it come from? Now up around here is where I'm going to kind of lay off the purple because it's kind of a reflection of the sky. The sky, you know, that's going to be more pink in here. And then purple on the outside edges, right? So I'm going to lay off the purple, okay? Lay off the purple, people. Alright, let's get pink on our brush. But yeah, you know, some of the interesting things I learned about myself listening to that Myers-Briggs things was that I don't really feel things in any kind of external way. I barely understand my own feelings. So I think it kind of made a lot of sense because when they're talking about things, they're like, when people come up to me and they're like, start telling me things, they're really emotional about it. My natural reaction is like, oh, it sucks that you have feelings. You probably want to not have feelings, right? You know, like, well, here's some tips. Here's what you can do to not have feelings. And that's like kind of what I launch into. And then that's like me dismissing someone's feelings, which I guess is a thing. I didn't really know that. But I'm not dismissing feelings. In my mind, I'm not. I'm just like, well, okay, I see you're feeling this. Seems like it's really affecting you. Here's a strategy to do something literally, and maybe it won't make you feel like that anymore. Apparently that's bad. And I'm supposed to just listen to their feelings, I guess. Which is fine. I can do that. The only thing is when some people expect you to have a big reaction to everything. And I think that was another one of the interesting things I learned, is that it's okay for me to not have a big reaction all the time. Like, it's kind of impossible. It's kind of like just not going to happen. But also, like, I don't have to cry if you're crying. It's okay. I don't have to feel the same way you do, you know? But, yeah, it's kind of like, it was kind of like, I don't know. Pretty eye-opening. My girlfriend's the exact opposite. It's all about her feelings and internal and all that, and she gets too emotional, and I don't get emotional enough, I guess. I don't know, it's interesting. It's like if we fight and we're fighting or something, like, I need to take a break to just process what I'm feeling. She needs to take a break to, like, stop processing her feelings, like, to, like, calm down and, like, be more logical. I need to take a minute to, like, be less logical. I don't know. Very interesting, but, I think what I need to do is really, and it doesn't mean I'm not emotional. It just means I typically don't show my emotions or express my emotions. So I think what I need to do is really, just wear my heart on my sleeve, right? So, everybody take your brush and just I'm gonna paint a little heart. Look at that, that's a good heart. Alright. I'm just gonna wear my heart on my sleeve. Boom. Just wear your heart. Wear my heart on my sleeve. But yeah, that was all just a pointless, corny thing to paint a heart on my sleeve. Okay, I think I need to probably dry this. Oh wait, is the blue dry? Okay, never mind. Okay, let's go into our mountains, and do our snow caps. And let's take a shot. Probably need to take some shots here, get caught up. Okay. I've haven't been drinking enough. I've been laying down on the job, so let's get back to it. But yeah, I'm gonna really wear my heart on my sleeve now, okay? I'm gonna wear my heart on my sleeve, everybody. Okay, shot counter. Okay, so again, today's trivia question, if anybody's even watching, wants to win a painting, today's trivia question is, which of the first 6 letters of the alphabet is the best? Is it A, D, B, F, C, B, D? What is happening? E, F, A, G, C, or H? I've run out of trivia questions. Okay, that is your trivia question for today, okay? So, let's paint our snow caps on our mountains, and we'll keep going. Let's go and go back to our light blue here, and I'm going to add a lot more white to make it much, much lighter. Excuse me. Okay, excuse me. Much, much lighter blue. And it's kind of like this ice blue, baby blue, whatever you want to call it. Ice blue, baby blue. When I was in high school, so we were pretty poor, but I worked all the time. Worked whole life. Saved up money. And I wanted a car, but I couldn't buy a car. I had like $200, right? Well, I bought the body of this old. I bought this dead body. No, I bought the body of this car. This old car. It was a 1960 Chevy Biscayne. It's kind of like an old Impala, you know. It was kind of like there was the Impala, and then like the Biscayne was kind of like the little bit cheaper version, I guess. But it was still this badass old car from the 60s, and so I bought the body, just the body, nothing in it. And then we built this car. We'd piece by every once in a while when I had money, I would buy, you know, another thing. We'd buy the motor, then we'd buy the transmission, then I would buy, you know, the radiator or the carburetor or whatever. Right, it's piece by piece and built this thing up. Man, I totally forgot where I was going with the story. I was talking about 1960 Chevy Biscayne. Alright, I can't remember yet, but I'll think it'll come to me. Anyway, let's keep going. What was the point of that story? So I built the car. Anyway, I had this old car. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. I kind of wanted my car to be this like baby blue, ice blue color. It looked really cool, like an old Impala, like baby ice blue Chevy Impala. It was gonna look really cool. But then we built it, and I went to college, and I couldn't. It was too unrealistic, and we ended up selling it because we were broke. But anywho, story for another day. Let's go ahead and take our light blue. We're gonna do this to make our snow caps on our mountains. So let's go ahead and start. We're gonna put this in our dark blue areas. This is gonna be the snow on the dark blue areas. Okay, so up here at the top, let's say it's a little snow cap. Oh, look at that snow. I like to be kind of. I'm gonna let this one. I'm gonna be less solid. It'll be a lot more, you know. I'm gonna let the brush kind of decide how it looks. I'm gonna be kind of just like that. I'm just gonna make some little. I'm just gonna kind of wiggle my. I'm basically just taking my brush. I'm just kind of twisting it, wiggling. I'm just kind of lightly dabbing it up and down. I'm kind of just freeballing, kind of lightly scribbling. You know, I'm just kind of light. A little light scribble there. Hey, I'm gonna do a little light scribble. Let some fade off. Sometimes that looks cool. Bob Ross did it with the old palette knife and had a really beautiful technique for it. I do not have that technique. I'm just using a brush, you know. So, and it's also oil paint. So there's a few differences there, but he had a really great technique for it. But I would say if you're doing acrylic paint with a brush, I would kind of you could kind of speckle some stuff in too. But the last one I did, the original painting I did of this, which you can go back and find those videos and watch it. The snow was a lot more like solid, square, angular stuff, which is what I typically do. It's kind of just what I like. But I'm gonna try to do this one a little bit more differently. Okay, a little more better, a little more different, betterly. But I'm gonna go through and just kind of like softly put these kind of random whites on the. Okay, so in the dark area, it's gonna be a little random. When I get to the light areas over here and I put the white in there for the snow, that's not gonna be so random because I'm gonna kind of follow the trends that I'm going with my. I'm gonna follow the trends of my brush. Follow your paintbrush's trends, okay? What's trending with your paintbrush? Basically, yeah. Basically, what you want to be is just a sad person who's like just doing whatever is popular and trending with your brush. Okay, so just totally give in and be a shallow, sad human being, and just going with the trends of your brush. Okay, I'm just talking about painting here. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm not talking about anything else in society or social media. I'm just talking about painting. Okay. Just be that sad person who has no, self-respect or like being true to their individual self or anything, and just do what your brush does. Okay, whatever's trending with your brush, whatever your brush seems to want to do, just do that. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna be a, social. Brushal media brush media whore, okay? You can't say whore anymore. It's degrading to whores. Don't say whore. It's mean to whores. You know, I forgot this one little section to paint that in lighter blue for the mountain. I might do that. Okay. There we go. But you know, what am I doing? What am I even doing, you know? I'm just doing the same shit, you know? It's not like I'm any better. Okay, I'm probably way worse. Okay. Now, I did forget to paint this one spot in, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that right there. Sorry I forgot about you, mountain. Okay, enough of that. Let's take a shot. Okay, shot time. Okay, now, again, trivia question today is, which of the first 6 letters of the alphabet is best? Okay, is it A, D, B, F, C, B, D, what is happening, E, E, F, A, G, C, or H? I've run out of trivia questions, okay? Give it a guess. Okay, I think we're good to keep going with the mountains. I have my shot to my... That one had a little bit of a lingering taste. Okay. Sorry. Something in my throat. Okay, let's wash this out. Give a little wash. We're gonna get white paint. We're gonna paint in some white snows on the mountains. There we go. Make sure your brush is really clean, because any little color in your brush... Oh, God. About lost that. Any little colors in your brush will drastically change the color of your white. Now, sometimes your paint water, when you're washing your brush out, there's a little bit of a color, and, you know, you might... When you take your brush to mix it in, you might see some of that colored paint water on your plate. If you stir it in, it usually goes away. If it doesn't go away, that means that your brush has paint in it. Okay, it's not so much that your water is changing the color of the paint, probably. I've just never really experienced that. I mean, every time I'm like, oh man, it looks like my paint color might just change because of the color of my paint water. Every time it's not that. It's that then I realize there's paint in my brush, and that's what's really changing the color there. So when you're doing this, if your color's changing, getting new paint water might not solve it. It's just, you're gonna, like right there. There it was. There it is. There's the culprit. It's probably that you need to wash your brush out more, okay? Art tip. A little art tip for you. Most of that blue's out of my brush, hopefully. Okay, so, anywho. Let's take our white paint. I'm going to do basically the same thing I did in these sections with my lighter colors. But now I'm doing it with just straight white, homie. Okay, just pure, some of that pure white, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically do the same thing I did over here, just in reverse. Like if there's white, there's my light colors up here at the top of this mountain, well, I'm going to put some white paint up there. Because this is the snow on the other side of the mountain that's just in the sunlight. So it's just, the sun is refracting? That's not the right word. The sun is it? I don't even know. Basically, you're putting the white on the other side. Wherever your light blue touches the edge here, on the other side, you want to go and continue that so you see that, okay, there's snow across here. It's just where the light's hitting it, makes it look lighter, you know, or a little bit more shade in the shade there. Okay, and that's going to be how we're going to make our mountains look like there's snow on them. Now, most of these, probably a little more snow towards the top of the mountain. It's going to take a little bit more thick white paint up here at the top to really make some... Okay, but you can be kind of like, you know, some of these big chunky spots, you can really chunk them in there, okay? But I'm going to start kind of soft, and then where I feel like maybe I want it to be more solid, I can kind of put some chunks in. Dreamer. Those round mountains, you have to kind of keep track of like where these mountains are, these imaginary mountain edges are in your mind, so you don't go over them or you don't. Hope I can sing along. There's the top of that mountain, so let's go right there where it touches our light blue and kind of continue that over here on the left side. There's another spot where it touches, so make sure your white meets up with your light white, your kind of bluish whites, you know, so that you can see that that's just one side of the mountain, and then when it goes around the other side, it's continuing around the other side, it's just in shadow. Out loud. Used to be a dreamer. Then I'm still up, thinking. Okay, now this one, I want to really make this one, I'm going to make this one kind of strong white, because honestly, I need something to happen down here at the bottom so I can kind of tell what's going on. All my dreams have gone. There we go. Now down here again, I'm going to kind of put this, you know, actually, screw my rule of putting more white at the top. I'm just going to cover a lot of stuff up, a lot of this white color. Let's just kind of put a lot of this in here. You know, maybe I'm thinking too hard, and I just... Because then when I don't think and I just put stuff in there, it does look the best. So why am I even trying? I don't know. I think maybe I'll do this. Alright, maybe I'll do a little bit of that. A little bit of this. And a little bit of that. And, okay, that's looking good. That looks okay. This one looks crappy. I don't like it. Maybe I was gonna do that. Hey, well, for some, probably it means how bad I did this. If that makes it look better, I must have really fudged that up, you know, in some way. Maybe I just need a second layer of white, though. Maybe the white's maybe kind of showing, probably maybe a little transparent, too. So maybe that second layer really thickening it up, thickening? What's the right word there? Thickening? To make thicker? Thickening? It's a word. What are words? Words are things you say to express ideas. Okay, okay, this is just gonna be one whole side of a big old fat mountain there. You big old fat stick in the mud. If you haven't noticed, I love It's Always Sunny, and half the things I say are just quotes from Sunny because they're just in my head, and I'm not trying to be like quoting all the time. It's just, how do I not quote Sunny all the time when it's playing in my head at all times? Okay, let's go ahead and take another shot. Let's take a shot. Hey, let's take a shot. And we'll keep going. You know, I've really missed this, you know. I like doing this. I like painting. And if anybody wants to make a painting like this, I can show you how to do it. So I really miss this. I'm enjoying this. It's been, I know it's, I don't know why I'm getting so sanctimonious about this. I only missed 1 week. It's not like, and it was a great week off. It really was. I had a great vacation. Anyway, thank you for anybody watching. Ah. All right. Is it still wet? It is. Okay, so we got our mountains done. Those look pretty cool. Those are cool looking mountains there. Now, one thing I might do is, I should do this. Okay. All right, let me take my big brush here. You know, actually, I don't even care. I was going to kind of make this line more solid, but really, it's in the background. I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to keep going. Don't tell anyone. No one's telling anybody anything. No one's watching. Well, just in case, don't, tell anybody something. Okay, I should blow dry this, and then, because what we're going to do next is we're going to put the trees in front and the foliage. My favorite word, foliage. Oh, crap, I named this one. I didn't change the title of this stream. This one's not called Lovebirds, it's called Blue Mountain. Whatever. Basically, we're gonna put the trees in front, and we'll start with some of the greens. Okay, start with your greens. Eat your greens. And then we'll put the browns on top, okay? I think this water is still the part that's still wet, not even the mountains. I use such thick paint. Oh, that's a thick paint stroke. Oh, you stroke it so thick. Why am I doing this? I'm sorry, everybody. What was that show, The Soup, where I always loved that show, The Soup, with Joel McHale, and it was just like sarcastic and shit, but I'd always say something like, there'd be a terrible like graphic and then someone going, so meaty, and it's so uncomfortable and weird. I think about that. I still think about that all the time. Why is it so funny? What's wrong with me? Hey, today's trivia question, by the way, is which of the first 6 letters of the alphabet is best, So, some good answers here. It's kind of a tricky question because is it F-A or is it like C-B? Is it H? I've run out of trivia questions. Is it E-E or is it A-D or C-B? D, what's happening? So, give that a guess. Okay, well, I guess maybe I'll draw something in and paint something more. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I feel like it. And I'm really trying to feel things more, okay? Because, see, I've got my heart on my sleeve now. See that? I painted a heart on my sleeve. I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve, people. Hey, people. I'm gonna take another shot, okay, people? Okay? Okay? Hey, yeah, baby. What else? I don't know. I was on vacation, I'm just like, I really have my TV all the time, or like what I normally watch, so I'm just scrolling through stuff and Facebooks, and I'm like, I gotta get off Facebook, stop scrolling, and but then you get sucked into those reels on Facebook, and then TikTok little videos, and I don't know, dude. There's just one guy who like, there's just one guy who does like, he always shows like part 3 of internet or websites everyone should know or whatever. And it's like cool websites, like, hey, type this in and it'll turn this into that, and it's automatic, blah blah blah. Like cool websites that people no one knows about. That they should pretty cool websites. And I like keep watching. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna use that. But I've never once visited one of the websites that he's shown. And I'm like, I think I just like knowing that this exists, or it's fascinating this exists, and that no one's using it, and then I continue to just not use it either. Strange. Like, I don't know why I don't go visit those websites, because they're very interesting. It'll be like, oh, on this website, you can put any number of audio files in and click this button and it'll make a song out of it. And it's like, it's amazing. I should do that. Never once done it, So, cheers. Let's go ahead and paint some greenery, okay? I should probably count my shot, too. These shots there, not hitting the spot. I don't know. It's probably the super flat. I did not get fresh squeezed Dr. Pepper today. It's kind of flat, so maybe that's why. I like to get that fresh squeezed Dr. Pepper. Fresh from the farm, I like to get that farm to table Dr. Pepper. Okay, I'm going to go back to my big flat brush, because if you haven't noticed, I'm a sucker for flat brushes. This is a great spot for round brush, honestly. If you like round brushes, use it here. I'm just a dirty whore for flat brushes. I'm like a nasty, dirty slut for flat brushes, okay? Okay, let's take our yellow, mix it with our blue here, make ourselves a nice light green. Actually, maybe it'll be a little dark green, but let's get a green. Actually, whatever green you want. Honestly, I wouldn't think about it. I just mix up a green that you like, get a color you like, and go. So I've got a green here. Okay, I want mine to be maybe a little more dark, more bluish. If you like that yellowy green, do it. It looks pretty nice. I'm gonna take this dark. I don't know why, but I'm feeling this cool winter darkness. I'm just gonna go up here and I'm just gonna start. Now, we drew a line in here earlier for kind of where the bottom of our trees are gonna be. If you want to draw that back in with chalk, that's a great idea. I'm just gonna handle it. I'm just gonna wing it. And again, this is about 3-4 finger leagues down. Like if you go from the top of your mountains, about kind of a little more than like this is a little sliver at the top. You want less than half of that top part covered up by this. Really show that sky, because that's the really nice part. I'm gonna also paint my sides and my top edge while I'm at it. I really like my mountains though in this one. My past ones, I don't know if I really liked them. This one, I kind of like the mountain in this one. Looks more, I think I'm going to do less of the angular blobs like I have been doing on my mountains. And do a little bit more of the light, kind of, I don't know, like, Winn-Dixie bag full of money that's right here at this. Wait, what was it? Do you remember Lil Wayne? He'd be like, I need a Winn-Dixie grocery bag full of money to the VIP section. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I don't know why did that pop in my head? I think my friend last night was talking to me about it when he was over, because And his friend would always say that. My friend would always say, he'd always do this. He'd say, his joke, he'd be like, all right, step one. I can't remember what he said. It's like, step one, do this, whatever. Add clients. Or step one, buy the suit. Step two, I forget step 2 and 3, but step 4 is profit. He'd always say that. I always thought it was funny. He said some funny stuff. Now I mixed up a lighter green now, like more of my yellow. Now I've got a light green. And I'm going to take this light green, and I'm just going to sprinkle in some texture, sprinkle in some, sprinkle it in. And just sprinkle it in. Oh. Whoa, excuse me. Just got to sprinkle it in. Sprinkle it in like, you sprinkle in passive-aggressive comments, Just sprinkle it in. Just sprinkle it in a conversation so they don't forget how mad you really are at them underneath the surface. Not something I do. I'm not passive-aggressive, I'm just aggressive. Just directly say to people what I don't like. And I guess, I don't know. People act like that's worse, I guess? I guess that's worse? I don't know. Okay, let's put our little... Okay, here's our... Let's do a little bit of that. Oh, yeah. Shouldn't be too violent with my paintbrush, but... I'm trying to just get a erratic edge here to my top of my grass. I guess this is grass? It's foliage. I don't really fully understand the definition of foliage. I just love saying it. Foliage. 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 Paint your side edge. But I'm just taking my brush, I'm making some irregular edges at the top there. Okay. NBD, that means no big deal. It's the only internet acronym. I've memorized that. And NBD, IRL means in real life. Then SMH is like so much urchin. Or what's some more that I know? I'm a gamer, I'm a big gamer because I play one video game sometimes, but I play it probably every other day or every couple days. Or probably every other day, let's be honest. I play it more than I think I do. But I'm really fluent in internet speak with the kids and with the youngins. And one thing they say is TBH, which means Tim Burton humor, so I know that. I'm hip. I'm really hip. I'm so hip, I know that hip is the hip thing to say with kids nowadays. It doesn't make you sound old. Okay, so I think I blow dry this. I've got my... I feel like this one's cool because we're like peering through... It's kind of that like peering through... What is that old movie where they come and they look through? Is it like some kind of like Pocahontas type of movie? Am I thinking of Pocahontas? That Disney movie? But there's some movie where it's kind of like that, and they're peering through and they see the ships coming over the ocean. That's kind of what this reminded me of. No one cares, Joel. Obviously, I know that. Okay, let's get some more whiskey and take some more shots. And everything's gonna get way better. Once I get completely trashed. I'm pretty trashed, honestly. I'm feeling I'm feeling good right now, honestly. I'm not feeling wasted. I'm just feeling pretty good. I kind of... Oh. know why I did that. It's already kind of hot in this room, but it kind of felt good. Feels like the sun's hitting you. You ever have that feeling? Okay, you ever sit out and not necessarily like tanning, but just sitting out in the sun, like you just kind of feel like you're baking just a little bit. But it's kind of like hot showers, right? Like I love hot showers. I've gotten to where I kind of don't take as hot as showers. Like when I was a kid, I'd take like fucking boiling hot showers, and I stopped doing that. But like, what is it? Like, what is so sad? It's like saunas. What's so what is that? Why is that so satisfying, you know? Why do saunas and baking in the heat and, you know, why does that feel good sometimes? I've had times where I've getting into a hot car and I'm like, oh yeah, just melt me. I don't know why. Is that crazy? Has anybody else ever felt that way? Something about it, like when you get into like a... Like, normally when I get in a hot car, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this sucks, turn on the air conditioning. But, like, you know, sometimes where you're just like, you get in a hot car and it's like, just kind of feels good. You just kind of soak it up. Like, when you're tanning, you just sit there and you just feel like you're baking a little bit. Same with hot showers, right? Or saunas. Like, what is that? What is that, people? Again, if anybody wants to win a trivia painting, today's trivia question is: which of the first letters of the alphabet is best? Is it A, D, B, F, C, B, D? What is happening? E, E, F, A, G, C, or H? I've run out of trivia questions. Okay. So if you want a painting, please God, someone guess. I need to get rid of these paintings. Just look, just guess, please. I don't. There's no real answer, okay? I just give paintings away. Or someone just comment and say, I want a painting. And I'll send you one. I've got somewhere around 40 paintings now that I'm running out of room. I'm looking at them right now. There's not any more room on my shelves. I don't have any more room. They're just stacking up. I guess, honestly, I should probably stop doing crappy, shitty paintings. Not that they're crappy or shitty, really. I mean, they're just easier. The point of this is that people can... I do an easy painting that anyone else can do. If I can do it completely hammered, you know, you can do it. But I guess in doing that, the unintended consequences that... It's not the greatest painting. It's not like a painting that someone wants to hang in their house necessarily. So people aren't clamoring for these paintings. I get it. I get it. But if you just want to, you could win a painting and paint on top of it if you want. Do whatever you want with it. I don't care. Use it as like you know, something to stack them up, and you can maybe prop your wobbly table up, or like anything. Just rip the canvas off and take the wood for it. Whatever you want to do. You can't just throw all these away. I can't feel bad throwing them in a landfill. Okay, I'm done talking. Okay, hey, let's take our chalk and let's draw in 4 little trees. Okay, we got 4 little trees here. Okay, now if this is the middle of if the very center is right here, let's go a little to the left, a little to the right. Okay. And let's say, okay, we've got a big tree right there, right? They're going to go mostly straight up and down, but they can be a little wobbly, right? There's 2 trees, and then let's find half in there, right down the middle. I'm going to have this one kind of leaning. I don't know why. That's how I've done it before, and that's what I'm going to do again. Okay, there we go. There's our 4 lines. Congratulations, that was really hard. Let's take a shot, because we earned it, okay? I don't know. I think I need brown for the next spots. I don't think I need the dark brown. I think I just need the yellow ochre. The raw sienna color. But I might use a little bit of both. So if you got both laying around, you can use them both. Ah, God, you're catching up to me. You're catching up to me. Okay. You know, I'm gonna use my round brush for this part. I'm gonna get a fresh plate, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my fresh plate, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my raw sienna, plenty of raw sienna. Okay, a little bit more raw sienna. I could take. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take a little bit of my burnt umber. Got a little bit of brown color there. Let's take some white. Let's take some blue. Okay, here's my plate. Okay. Ugh. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze again. Oh my god. Okay, I'm not gonna sneeze again. Oh, excuse me. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take my round brush. I got so drunk. Okay. Doesn't matter. No one's watching. All right, let's take our medium round brush and let's get. Okay, let's get let's see what this does. Let's take our. I think what I did in the past, I would take my yellow ochre / raw sienna color, take some blue in there, and then we get this interesting bluish, deep, shadowy brown color. And honestly, that's what I'm gonna do here. I was gonna set that up like, oh, then I'll take this color instead. But actually, I think that looks better. Okay, let's try the brown color. I'm gonna take that with some browns. You take my dark chocolate and mix it with my caramel. Meh. What's that look like? Oh god, that's too much. You know, actually I kinda like that. Take your blue and your burnt umber, mix it with the raw sienna. Okay, so let's take that and let's fill these in. So let's start there. Yeah, there we go. Oh, okay, yeah, it's a good color. And I'm gonna start by just kind of tracing my lines. I'm just gonna start this way. I'll go back and thicken them up and make them more solid. Let's just start there. Do I not have enough paint on my brush? There we go. Okay, let's go back and let's really make these a little solid. Wow, this is going to be a record, guys. I won't tell you for what, but it's going to be a record. So I'm going to take that paint, mix some water in there. Really. Okay. Let's go ahead and fill these in. So, you know, when you're painting these on top, you're going to get all this texture from layers below it. And it just takes patience. It just takes more paint. Keep mixing water in so it's nice and thin. It's not thick paint. Thick paint will give you more texture, which is nice for some situations. For this one, we're trying to cover something and lay our first layer down. We want to make sure that it's filling in between all these little rough areas like this that you see. That is thick paint. Okay, if it's thinner, it kind of falls right into those little gaps and it fills them in. Okay, so I would keep adding water. Make sure your paint's a little thin, maybe thinner than you might originally think, and really go back over. Keep dipping your brush in paint. It's tedious, but you want those edges to be nice and solid, which they should be. Keep mixing it in water. Keep dipping it in fresh, thick paint, and go slow. Really let your brush fill in those sections as you go. Okay. Kiki, how are you? Kiki, you're the first person to say anything. I was gonna say this is a record to go a whole stream with that one comment. Kiki, you broke it. Thank you. Kiki, have you been watching? And have you been watching this whole time, or are you just now tuning in? Okay, so let's take that thick paint. Let me make sure our edges are kind of solid, pretty solid. And then this is going to be the last part here. Just tuning in now. Well, Kiki, here's the trivia question. Which of the first 6 letters of the alphabet is best? Is it A, D, B, F, C, B, D, what is happening, E, E, F, A, G, C, or H? I've run out of trivia questions. Alright, so you give it a guess. Okay. Yeah, it does kind of remind you of Bob Ross trees. I'm trying to channel this one is kind of a, and I did my mountains a little differently too, that I feel like in the past, like most of, like, I do, obviously Bob Ross is a big inspiration, clearly. I've seen his stuff, and I like how he does his mountains and everything. I have my own style, and I'm also not using palette knives and oil paints in these, so I have a different method for acrylic and oil. But, you know, I would say that, like, this one, in the past I've done my mountains where my snow caps are more my style, right? Like more solid and choppy and straight flat brush, you know. But this one I kind of like let it, I don't know, I kind of did a little different style, and it kind of feels more Bob Rossy. Okay, we have our first guess for the trivia question. Kiki Turtle guesses F. Okay, so F is off the table. Okay, F, A is off the, F and A are off the table. Okay, F, A is off the table. Okay, really wash your brush out. Let's get some white. Here's what we're gonna do now. Last thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna take my flat brush now. Let me make sure I really wash it out, because I can't remember what color I had on there last. Let's take some white and some of my raw sienna. Not a lot of white, I mean just a little bit. And this is going to be kind of like, you know, the highlight, like the lighter part of it, the parts where the light is hitting the tree. That's kind of what this is going to, the color we're trying to find here. So a lighter color, you know, this color down here is going to work well, I think. So what I want to do is what we're doing here is the light, we're behind, we're in shadow, we're looking through these trees out at these mountains. The light is coming from the front, in front of us, and it's wrapping around. It's in front of, it's on the other side of the tree from where we're looking. So from where our angle, straight at those trees is going to be dark. But maybe on the outsides, we'll see some light hitting it. Okay, so not a lot at the top or the bottom where it's in front of, where there's foliage on top, but right down here through the middle. Take some of that light color, this light sienna color. I'm gonna add some of this just for effect. Knock me out my ass. The memories. There we go. I'm liking that a little bit more. Okay, that looks alright. That looks alright. I'm gonna do don't mess it up. Now, once you get a nice thing, knowing when to stop is always the real skill here in painting, you know? Knowing when to not overwork it. Overworking is your biggest enemy. I don't care who you are. Doesn't matter. Okay, there you'll always get to a point where you're overworking something. That is kind of, I don't know. Well, I don't want to get too absolute in anything, but maybe there's people that works for it. But I'm just saying, for the most part in painting, especially painting, you know, unless you're like trying to do this as like you're Walter White or something, you're like some kind of brilliant mathematician, you know exactly. Okay, I know what I'm talking about. Okay, hey, I think we did it, everybody. I dropped that. Okay, well, hey, there's our painting for today. Have a good day. I love you all. Okay, goodbye.